Sorry mate, cheers, thank you. Heads and a lot of disrespect, so we need to get better at that. You'll only ever feel better, so get up, get out, do something. Hi guys, right, today I'm going to be heading to Richmond Park. Existing viewers will know that I'm there quite a lot. So I'm asking you guys a question today regarding other cyclists and your thoughts on something that didn't disturb me, but was interesting to see from another side. I took my son last weekend cycling around the edge on the trails of Richmond Park. And it was on a Saturday morning. And I was surprised, should we say, at what was going on. But we'll chat a little bit more about that later. I want to sort of delve into that a little bit and just see what you guys think. Anyway, guys, if you're new to the channel, please like, comment and subscribe. If you're an existing viewer or sub, please like, comment, share. And join me as I head off for a little training session in Richmond Park and throw some questions to you guys to see what your take is. See you in a bit. Hey guys, so lovely couple of laps around the park as usual. It's a beautiful day. I've made a bit of an error with this outfit. I should have wore a short sleeve today, but you can never be too sure, can you? Particularly with the UK, you never know what's going to happen. 1 minute it's raining, freezing, next minute it's boiling. So yeah, mega peaceful today. The weather is beautiful. So I wanted to go over a couple of things, right? This is my, I want to say dilemma, but like a bit of an issue with other cyclists. So, and it's going to be quite contentious. So on a Saturday, normally I avoid Richmond Park because it's packed. I went last Saturday with my son just to go around the trails. I actually hired a bike from Roehampton Gate within the park just because it was easier. It's about 11 quid an hour for an adult bike. And I think that's actually quite reasonable. Bike's not bad. Obviously you don't have to worry about anything. You can just sort of relax. So I took my son's bike in the car and hired a bike. And what I noticed is coming into the car park, it's weird seeing it from the other point of view because normally I'd see it from a cyclist point of view. I hadn't really picked up on it before. But there are so many cyclists in the road, in the cafe, blocking the way. There's a lot of sort of ignorance. There really is, and you don't see it until you're on the other side of it. Maybe I've done the same, I don't know, like stood around like in front of the cars, in front of spaces, getting annoyed. They were sort of, even when you're driving through, you're getting dirty looks. And I'm talking about like 2 miles per hour with my son, trying to find a space. And then when you walk up to the cafe, it's so intimidating. And, you know, that's just a group thing. I don't think it's anyone's fault in particular, but you probably all do maybe with a bit more in the way of decorum. Do you know what I mean? A bit of just like manners, essentially. Yeah, as I said, like I hired the bike and I'm trying to get onto the little pathway, and there's a lot of cyclists sort of chatting, blocking the way, and it was fine for me because I kind of just say what I want. I'm like, guys, come on. But you can imagine if you're like a non-cyclist, you're either going to get really passive aggressive and annoyed. I just think we could all do, again, it's not everyone. I'm not saying it's the majority of cyclists, but I just think some people are a bit dim sometimes. And then even with like, I've noticed it in cycling in the week, it's so nice at this time, but even like cycling in the week, you find that cyclists don't always know what they're doing on a roundabout. They don't give way, they'll just pull in front of you. And it's much worse on a Saturday if you're, again, not the majority, but you'll get people that just don't know the rules, and then ends up potentially causing accidents and stuff like that. I'm actually at Pen Ponds at the moment, and there's a little path that goes through the park, and it's used by everyone, people walking, cycling. And there was an older couple and they had their dog with them, and their dog ran across this path here, and this guy in all like aero gear was doing some sort of timing himself, some sort of time trial. He looked like he was in a speed suit. Just started really shouting at them. And to be honest, like, it's not a road, it's a shared path. So when I saw this, I was sat down, I saw it, and I went over to them and I just said, guys, like, I apologise on behalf of that guy. We're not all like that. He didn't have a right to do that. And I don't want you to go away from this thinking that none of us have any manners. I just didn't want that. And it was really well received. What do you guys think? Like, honestly? Because I see it a lot where even when you're going down like a single path across the park another way, there's not loads of room, and sometimes they'll come down and they'll be like twosed up and they're hammering it and they will not give way even when they should be. So I just think we could all probably do with like looking at our behaviour a little bit and just being a little bit more respectful, a little bit more polite. And again, I'm not talking for the majority of cyclists. I know the majority of people in there are decent, but I just think there's a lot of hotheads and a lot of disrespect. So we need to get better at that. What do you guys think? And also I wanted to touch on as well, anxiety. I mentioned it the other day in the video and a few of you commented, so I appreciate that. I got it today as well, and I think it tends to happen when if I've got a day off and I kind of sleep in a little bit or I procrastinate for a little bit longer, that's when it kind of tends to kick in, where I'm like, oh, should I go out? Should I go out? And I don't know where that comes from. I think I was kind of looking to meet up with a pal. Like, oh, are you about? Are you about? Are you about? And then when no one's about, that anxiety sets in. And I don't know what it is. I think it's mindset more than anything. But I know you guys get that. And I just wanted to say, like, coming out now, I feel brand new. Like, I feel good again. So it is just a case of just getting on with it sometimes. Although I am hot. Like this long sleeved, this wasn't the one today. I think it's thermal as well, so it's not the one. But yeah, what's your thought on that, guys? Like, do you agree? Do you tend to avoid the park when it's really, really busy? I tend to. I come some summer evenings, as you've seen on here. I've come some summer evenings, and it's been like packed, and there is a fun element to that. But I don't. You know, again, all meeting at the same meeting point. There's like 3 or 4 cafes all the way around the park. Just seems bizarre. It's like people are a bit sheep-like. You know, when you're on an aeroplane and it stops and everyone just gets up and bends underneath the ceiling like that, and they can't go anywhere, and you're thinking, why are you standing up? It's a bit like that. But anyway, I'm going to stop running. I'm going to finish this. I fueled up with just a banana today, so no cakes, no baps, and yeah, I'm just going to take in these views and get back to it. I'm going to give you a little downhill on Broomfield in a minute as well. I'm going to climb it, bomb it down, and give you a little first person viewpoint. Right, let me finish this. I'll see you in a bit. Bye. So we're done in Richmond Park today. I know I go there a lot, but it's very, very near me. It's easy, it's beautiful, and it just allows me to get some kilometers up for when I do those big rides. It always helps, always helps. And I use it as a bit of a hit train, so stop, start, and it's good for the body, you know, rather than just doing endurance all the time. It's good for me. So yeah, let me know your opinions on that little debate. Whether you think, you know, cyclists could show a little bit more etiquette, manners, etc. I'm heading home now, so I'm going to go along the river, show you some views, and catch you up when I get back. But I'm fueled now. So nice to have good weather as well, wasn't it? Back to it. Right, see you in a bit. Guys, I'm back. I feel really good. Like I said, let me know your opinions, your thoughts on everything we've discussed today. Be really interested to hear what you got to say. I'm so glad I got out. Honestly, if any of you are procrastinating today, watching this, thinking, shall I get out? Just do it. Even if you go for a little walk, you'll never, ever feel worse after exercising, walking, whatever it is. You won't feel worse. You'll only ever feel better. So get up, get out, do something, be nice and active because it will make you feel better. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed today. I hope you've enjoyed the filming, the editing, the tranquility of my ride because I've enjoyed it. So I hope you have too. I feel so much better for getting out, honestly. It's ridiculous. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next one.